Fam, good morning. What's going on? It is Feel Good Friday on Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Friday, June 6th. Man, it feels good to be here. What a time to be alive. What a time to be enjoying the summertime and recruiting. My goodness. What a big time weekend in recruiting. That'll be the meat of the show today, clearly, with Alabama once again hosting some incredible prospects from across this great country. You know, a lot of guys out of Georgia. That's kind of been like a pipeline for Coach Kalen DeBoer. Good to see it, right? People said he couldn't recruit in this area. I don't know. He's got some guys coming in from the next state over that are elite, right? So 3 5-stars on the defensive side of the ball coming in. And I would say, look, closing time is more associated with, like, you got to get these guys assigned. But I think in terms of encouraging these guys to commit, yeah, now's the time. And I think if you look at the window from last year to this year underneath this staff, this is around the time that things really heated up. So last year's the cold summer. This year it's summer rain. I think it's about to start popping on recruiting. It's already been good, to be honest. It's already been really good. You heard all the marks. Bama is the place. I can see myself at Alabama. Those are the things that you want to start hearing during this point in time during the summertime. As we open up the show, and yeah, you're right, Jarvis. Why not Bama? I'll do my shout outs in just a minute. But look at these early lines while we let everybody get checked in. You know what? It's the same. This is like Groundhog Day with this second game with Georgia favored by Bama. We see this every time. You know what? This will be the third consecutive time that Georgia has been favored over Alabama, right? Because this happened last year, and the last time they played in the SEC championship game, with the same thing keeps happening. That's fine. Be the underdog going into that game. I'll take it. And I would imagine, I don't know if it's crept to 12.5 anywhere with Alabama versus Florida State. I think it'll be 13.5 by the time we get to kickoff in Tallahassee. At one point, it was 6.5, which is crazy. So Alabama's the big favorite in the opener, which we understand. We understand what's coming back. But Georgia's a 4-point favorite in that huge SEC showdown in Athens, beginning of the season. That'll be the biggest game in college football, and I think it'll have lasting impacts for each of the teams as we get to the back end of the season. That's how big that game is. It always is. I actually like where it's at, and it actually works out well for Bama once again, win or lose. You get punched in the mouth. Georgia has, a pretty good schedule. In fact, they host most of their difficult games are at home. But if Georgia somehow, beats Alabama, it'll provide Alabama a punch in the mouth to kind of get things in order going down the stretch. If Alabama wins, they gain so much momentum that who knows, maybe they turn into a buzzsaw. Maybe they'll be a buzzsaw from the jump. I don't know. But I like the pressure being elsewhere for a game like that. And I don't think Alabama's going to be a favorite going into, Athens anyways. Alabama now at 12.5 early favorite against Tennessee. Again, that game's in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown favorite against LSU. Again, game in Tuscaloosa. 14-point favorite against Oklahoma. That's an interesting one right there. That game also in Tuscaloosa. 14 points against Oklahoma. Yeah, okay. I think I low-key kind of like Oklahoma. I don't know why. I think they're going to be pretty good. Maybe because it's the lasting image of the beatdown they gave Bama last year. I don't know. 14 points? Who knows? And then in the back end, a 7.5-point favorite against Auburn. I would never touch any game taking place at the Haunted Barn. Just don't. So yeah, that's a look at the early lines on June 6th, 2025. I started out the day, I always start out the day, most of my days, working out right here in Tuscaloosa with these guys. It's F3, Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, and it makes me feel so much better mentally. It's a free workout open to all men. It's in your area. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Today is actually D-Day. Where would we be without the men from D-Day, right? I probably wouldn't even have the opportunity to express our opinions. And that's the best thing about this country, right? So today, it was actually this young man right here. We actually have 15 firemen in our group. They're here. I'm right here. So we brought out the bags, the hoses, and this man right here, 26 years old, led our group. Just like good men, leading the way. And I feel that you are who you surround yourself with, right? I think I can tell you a lot about who you're hanging out with. And if you're out there and you're caught in some sort of isolation trap, you need to get out of it and build yourself a sense of community, right? So this is the crew, and we have a lot of different guys at different locations. But, I think on a day like D-Day, it's always a day to think about those who gave their life, the ultimate sacrifice for this country. It's always Military Appreciation Day here, but also thinking about, where your mental health is and, who you're hanging out with. Level up, right? Bring yourself up. It's important. Today's goal is 10 super chats, all right? 10 super chats, all right? Let's start it off. 10 super chats on Feel Good Friday. And let's do our morning roll call. Let's see who's kicking it with us today right here on Bama Football. All right, Herman, of course, man. Perfect attendance, bro. First at the class. Chad Kennedy, man. Always good to see you, bro. Josh Johnson. Lee says, Roll Tide. Roll Tide Probs. What's up, bro? Alabama's biggest fan. Good morning. Alyssa also very good attendance. Perfect attendance, rather. Dan Caraway, strong supporter. Max Tooney, strong supporter. Bama in GA Outdoors, man. You know what? You're enemy lines. Josh Johnson, what's up? Coming to us from Powder Springs, GA. Man. Rocket Town. Anita, what's up? Anna, good morning to you. Good to see you. Everybody tuned in. A-Town, what's up? That's right, Atlanta. Max Tooney, what's up? Chris Waltman, good to see you, bro. Stay relentless. Marcus, stay relentless. Good to see you, man. Wade Burns, what's up, bro? Robert Bradley Jr. What's up, cowboy? Yeehaw Friday. Hell yeah. Caitlin D-Boss. Lil Block, what's up, man? Man, we got a good crew up in here. Antoine, man, my boy. Antoine said he's bored at work. He also says Roll Tide. We got Melon Jesus. I love that name. Bama Boy, what's up? Lee G. Good morning. John Shannon. Jeff Roy, what's up? King Riz. King Riz got some Riz. Sammy Dubs, Little Block up in here. Yo, got such a good crew. It's always good to see. I think we had, my boy Jack. What's up, man? Good to see you, Jack. Fromm has been a fan funder for 16 months. 16 months, man. Marcus is like, yo, Kyle, I can't catch a show morning or evening due to work and school, but Friday mornings are open and dedicated to the show. When is the next call-in show? Oh, man, we need to, maybe next week, right? We'll do a call-in show next week. Dre's coming to us from H-Town, Houston. Cowboys leveled up to a level 1 fan funder. Hell yeah. Yeehaw. Heavy hitters are in the house for sure, Jarvis. That's good, Jack. I appreciate you being locked in, man. All right. So you know what we do on Fridays, right? Friday. Okay. So today, so a couple things, right? This is the main raffle. All right. I brought out this one's fire. Okay. This is the sleeves off hoodie. This is the main raffle. So this is the big dog today. $10 to enter, up to 3 opportunities. I already have a good crew in. If you want to hit the raffle, Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App Bama YouTube. If you want to buy the gear directly, any of the gear that we show, it's either from Fanatics or from Athletes Thread. Athletes Thread is where you can get the actual players' gear. So we've been doing this raffle. A portion of this goes back to really the charity that, I mean, I've been rocking with the Soup Kitchen 2 consecutive months. But as I mentioned, you know, I'm starting a project with the Tuscaloosa Juvenile Detention Center that I just started yesterday, which is in the early infancy stages. But I think my next, you know, drop might be there. Because now that I know that they take donations and kind of a little bit more about it, that might be another area. So in case you missed it yesterday, I was absent because I'm developing a program to where we can work out with our men's group, right? Take these guys right here, right? Some of them, and work out with the Tuscaloosa Juvenile Detention Center and do our workout at their facility, right? They're part of the community. So that's something that I'm spearheading, and it's in the early stages. So I'll keep you guys posted. So $10 to get you in this raffle, up to 3 tries. The retail price on this on Fanatics is $100. Okay, so that's the price on this hoodie if you went directly from Fanatics. All right, Julian, I got you in. Thank you so much for jumping in. Scott Hammond. So I'll just put Scott Hammond in there twice. Appreciate it. But like I usually do, and I'll keep the raffle again. But this is, I also do free raffles on Friday. All right. So this is a free raffle. All right. So we're gonna spin the pinwheel a little bit earlier on today's show, and then we're gonna talk some recruiting. We'll put our boy Jack in the raffle, and we'll put Cowboy. We're just gonna list you as Cowboy. Need to make sure Patriot Life is in there. Patriot Life, what's up, brother? So we do a free pinwheel. All right, man. Look at this. Look at this. A 50 spot on Friday. Appreciate all you do. Nice out. Oh man, thank you so much for Kevlar the Weld Warrior. Reclaim your brain with a 50 spot. Man, thank you so much, bro. Yeah, and super chats will get you in the raffle as well. So Kevlar will put you in there, man. Thank you so much. And we got Antoine shooting from behind the arc too. That's what's up. That's 2 super chats. All right, we said 8. We need 8 more. That's our goal, is 10 today. We'll put Antoine in, and then we'll spin for the. We'll do the free one as well. How you guys feeling about this? Do you guys like this? I like this. This is tight. This is for free. I'm got to make sure I got my boy Mike G inside the raffle. And you know what? And I put JTL in there, our LSU fan, even Bama hater. And I told them if they somehow come up with the gear and if they win, I will send them something like Miami related, or I will send them something LSU related, but it's going to have like a corn dog. It's going to be like Crimson. Patriot Life shooting behind the arc too. Man. I know we're going to hit our goal today. Dwight with a super. Oh, man. It's happening. Dwight is right. Man. That's what's up, man. JTL, man. That's going to be crazy. Joe Kroom's in too? Everybody's in on Friday. How many we got? Count them up. Hey, Jarvis, could you be my boy? How many we got, Jarvis? Because we're going for 10. Count them up, Jarvis. Jarvis has been my stats guy for a long time on the show. Dwight up in here. Let's get these super chats on the board. We got Antoine. Man, thank you so much, Antoine. Patriot Life, bro. Patriot Life has been building this community from brick by brick. Dwight's been here for a long time. Joe Crooms, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right. 5 of 10. That's where we're at. Okay. Well, let's take a minute and let's just look at some recruiting real quick, and then we'll do an early pinwheel, and then we'll come back, and then we'll continue with the show. Does that sound good? All right. Cowboys in as well. Yeah. 6 of 10. Marcus, Josh, everybody's firing. Oh, my goodness. All right. You guys are killing it. I really appreciate it. All right, Josh. 8 of 10. We got two more? Two more going once? 8 of 10. Did I miss you? Did I miss you, Dan? Somewhere on here? I think we got 8 so far. 8 of 10. Killer. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. The support, it goes so far. Thank you. All right, Dan, I got you inside. So Dan's in here with Dan couldn't do a super chat on the board, but he just sent a Venmo. So we have Dan in here too. So we need one more Patriot Life in with 10. All right. All right, we hit it. We hit it, fam. 10. Killer. All right. So I'll come back and spin the free pinwheel here in a second. And then this is our major, this is the big dog today. Anna, oh my goodness. Anna in with this, man. Ethan in, man. This is crazy. All right, Anna, shooting big. All right. Ethan, what's up, man? Ethan in as well. Wow. Crazy. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Whew, man. 11 to 10. Whoa, man. This is crazy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. You guys are just amazing. Seriously. Thank you. That's some support for sure. Oh man. Woo. And if you guys did the super chats, I got you all inside the raffle for this hoodie right here. As well as anybody else that has done Venmo or Cash App. So we got we got a great crew up in here. And Cowboys, good to have you up in here too, man. All right, got to get some love out to Sonic as well, one of our new sponsors. Appreciate you, Jarvis. And this Sonic is in West Memphis, Arkansas, or Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 meet. So if you're cruising through Arkansas and you pull over and you need ocean water or the Sonic Bull, all right? Is that what it's called? Am I ever going to get this right? It's a Sonic Red Bull drink. Then stop on over and tell him Bama Football on YouTube sent you. Tell him that Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube sent you. All right? All right, so as you know, the summer rain. So I'm gonna open this up, and then I'll come back and do the free hoodie. But let me just kind of warm it up, all right? So as you know, the recharger. I'm going to write this down so I can talk about it. Recharger, Kyle. All right, that's the recharger. All right. So as you know, this is a gigantic weekend for Alabama football recruiting. Another one, back to back, right? Marcus, what's up, bro? You're currently not in a signing period, but you are in a period where you're hosting, right? And I think a good place to start out with is kind of looking at the top 10. And the top 10, look, I look at On3. I look at 24/7 as well. I mean, now there's really only 2 because On3 just bought Rivals. But I was looking at just some data points just from where the top 10 are. And you'll notice that Alabama's actually in the top 10 right now, despite just having 5 commitments. So let me just read out some particulars real quick. It's amazing to me. Like, USC is recruiting at a very high level. They lead the nation right now with 27 total commits, including 16 4-stars. They've had some guys commit and decommit, like Xavier Griffin, who's actually here right now. He was committed to UFC at one point in time, right? So, I mean, that's an incredible amount, but you got to be able to sign them. There's a difference between a commit and a signee, right? And signing day isn't for quite some time. It's in December. LSU has 2 5-star commits and really recruiting at a really good level, more than any other team right now in the top 10. Ohio State owns the highest average on On3 with 91.63, still recruiting at a very high level. Notre Dame capitalizing off their momentum from the playoffs, right, in the national title game. Tied with USC for the most 4-stars with 13 in the top 10. Georgia features 3 5-stars. Texas A&M, all 12 commitments are 4-star commitments, right? Clemson has 12 4-star commitments, no 5-stars. Miami's also in there. Oregon. And then Bama, which, you know, what's interesting is Bama only has 5 commitments at this point in time, but their recruits are high valued. And you even have Jordan Edmonds, who's a 5-star commitment, right? So I think what this is telling us, the long story short, is Alabama right now is going to be on a rocket ship once some of these guys start committing, because they're already in a good spot with just 5 guys on board. You see what I'm saying? So right now, in terms of some of the prospects that are coming in, I'll walk you through it, and then we'll come back to the free pinwheel. But here's kind of a look at who's coming to town. And these aren't commits. I have to update this graphic. These are I'll point them out if they are committed. But these are the prospects that are coming, rather, okay? So the prospects that will be here, and I'll point them out if they're actual commits or not. But you have Caden Prothro, right, a tight end out of Georgia. He's a 5-star. He's uncommitted, right, out of Georgia. Jordan Edmonds is committed to Alabama. Xavier Griffin, he's uncommitted. Big. See all these 5-stars? Jaira Edwards, right, safety out of Maryland. Kamari Brooks, who's a wolf, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 5-stars are coming into town. The only one that is currently committed is Jordan Edmonds, all right, to Alabama, okay? You also have the 4-stars who are in town, right? Matt Ponitowski, who's a quarterback out of Ohio. Sam Utu, who's an offensive lineman out of California. Jamarian Matthews, right? He's committed to Alabama. He's an edge out of Georgia. And then Kamarion Johnson, who's a defensive lineman out of Alabama. He's committed out of Muscle Shoals. And the 3-star prospects that'll be here, Derek Cooper, who's a 3-star running back out of Florida, and Brian Williams out of Florida as well. Those prospects are uncommitted. So you do have kind of a good mix of guys who are committed to Alabama, but also guys who are heavy hitters. Like, I would imagine that, you know, Kamari Brooks and Xavier Griffin, all these guys are going to get some form of the 5-star treatment, but Xavier Griffin is really the one to watch. And if you really wanted to you know, break the internet, you would, you know, somehow get him to commit before his commitment date, which is later on this month. But just as you did last weekend, you're hosting a ton of top-end talent. It's incredible, the guys that they're really bringing in. And as we currently and always discuss here, the recruiting really after Coach Saban, it didn't stop. And in fact, I don't know, we'd have to go back and forth on this. I don't know if I agree with this at this point in time, but somebody's like, the recruiting kind of elevated. You know, I think what happened was Coach Saban could do a lot on his own, but there was never really kind of like I think what this staff has done, and it's not like Saban did anything wrong recruiting. He didn't. But I think this staff came in and kind of freshened things up. Would you agree with that? It's kind of like they changed the recruiting room. Even Coach Saban, when he went back, and he hadn't been back to the facility for a while, he was like, why didn't we do this to our recruiting room? They freshened things up. They changed things out. And I would certainly say, you know, hey, Tiders back in Bama, I appreciate the super, bro. Thank you so much. I would certainly say that it seems like this staff is a little bit younger and they have a lot of energy. Like, you've seen them actively recruiting on social media, sending these videos out to prospects. They've kind of changed and adapted with the times without losing anything from their tradition and dynasty that Alabama built. You see what I'm saying? So it's been impressive to see what they continue to do. And if you're out there, and I'm going to say this until signing day is done, right? Don't be upset right now with where we're at in terms of commits. Like, they're going to come. It's going to take some time. And plus, look, as we also speak about, it's also, these guys are definitely going to get paid, right? That's just how it is. All right, I'm going to take one break, and I'm going to come back, and we'll do the free pinwheel, and then we'll continue with the show. So just give me 1 second, and we're going to do our free pinwheel in just a second. Be right back in 2 seconds. Now is a great time to sign up to Bamboo Football on YouTube. Just kidding. That's just me. I'm stupid. Be right back. All right, we're back. All right, so this is the free pinwheel. So I have a running list of people who constantly watch the show. I've added a couple of different people. If you don't see your name on here, hold it against my head, not against my heart. I'll get you guys in as we continue to go along, but we usually do like a free Friday. And be patient on the shipping out. And if you have questions on shipping, you can email me anytime. So, and I'll get right back to you. And if you do win any of the raffles, just feel free to reach out. That's my email. I usually fire right back to you, unless I don't have my phone or something like that. But I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, and I'll respond right back to you. So this is for our free pinwheel. All right, and got people lined up. And with that said, I feel like it's better with the music. I don't know why. All right, so we'll put pause. We'll put here. This is the free pinwheel. All right, so let me go into game show host. Welcome to Bama Football on YouTube, where we do the pinwheel in a free pinwheel on Friday, right? If you want gear directly by yourself, you're just like, I can't take the pinwheel. The pinwheel doesn't like me. Then go to Athlete's Thread and just buy the gear. Or go to Fanatics. I'm not sponsored by either of those, but that's where you get the gear. That's where they have it, all right? Today, we're doing 2 pinwheels. This one is a free pinwheel. Just fans that I have that pop on. Make sure you email me, all right, for the gear. And then on the back end of the show, we'll do the main pinwheel for the cutoff hoodie, all right? Without further ado, let's spin this you-know-what. Hey, DJ, spin it. 3, 2, But first, just kidding. Here we go. Who we got? Brock RTR just beat out Jarvis. Man, Jarvis, my Melon Jesus, I'll get you on there next time. Brock RTR, are you out there? Brock RTR is the winner. Brock, are you on? Melon Jesus, I'll get you next time. Brock RTR, congratulations, bro. I thought Jarvis was going to come up with another W. Right? All right, so Brock, please email me as soon as you can for your gear. All right, and we continue with the show. Give me, yeah, you guys were, I mean, the pinwheel's the pinwheel. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back, and we'll continue with the show. And we're back. I do all the music and everything. It's crazy. One day I'll give you a behind the scenes look at the show. There's nothing else. It's just me just running all this. It's crazy. I'm pushing buttons, the music, all the stuff. It's wild. And you know what's crazy? I feel that I do an okay job multitasking, like on the show. It doesn't bother me. I don't get nervous. It's okay. But like in real life, I'm not the best multitasker. Like if I'm cooking, I can't be on the phone talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I have to be like focused in. Like I need, to be dialed in, but on the show, for whatever reason, I can multitask. I don't know why. And I hope you know that I put everything into the show. Like I want to make sure that I communicate with you. I think sometimes, shows that are out there, which are great shows, I don't know like how much they interact with the fans. And I always thought is like, man, could you imagine back when we were watching like ESPN or our shows, could you imagine like interacting with like someone I grew up watching was like Chris Berman. And I'm not saying I'm Chris Berman by any stretch of the imagination, or like if you're like a Feinbaum guy, could you imagine like interacting with him like on the chat? I think that'd be cool. Lance is saying try out rounders, like rounders here in Tuscaloosa for like the college kids. No way. All right, Jack has asked this question a couple different times, so let me honor Jack real fast. All right, Jack says, Kyle, who are you most excited to see this year? In terms of guys who are out there participating at a high level, I'll give you a freshman and then I'll give you a returner. I'll start with the returner. And I think that one of the guys that I'm most excited to see coming back this year, and we really haven't talked about him this much, but I would say Deontay Lawson. I think a healthy Deontay Lawson is ferocious. And I think he's probably one of the most underrated defensive players in the country. And I think if he was healthy, he probably would have been drafted in the first round of this last NFL draft. So it was unfortunate for him and Alabama that he couldn't finish out the year last year. But I think going into this year, it benefits him and Alabama at an extremely high rate. I mean, this guy is an absolute monster. Can I get a thumbs up inside the comment box if you agree on Deontay Lawson? Maybe he's not one of the guy that you're looking forward to, but honestly, I think if you're like, who's the alpha on this year's defensive team? It's probably Deontay Lawson. I mean, he's that good. And he will set the tempo and he will set the tone. And you don't hear a lot from him. And I don't know, if he's making the most NIL or whatever. The NIL will be peanuts compared to what he's going to make in the NFL. Just wait. So Deontay Lawson, I can't wait to see him. In terms of freshmen, I mean, look, there's so many guys that you could choose from. I mean, right off the jump, I kind of want to say Lazier Brooks, just because we've been talking about him. But let me talk about somebody else. I think on the defensive side of the ball, I could probably say, some of the guys like Dejon Lee, Lazier Brooks, even Keelan Russell, right? Those are kind of like easy guys that I think would be easy to say, who am I excited about? But I really want to see some development from like a Michael Carroll. Where is Michael Carroll at from a developmental process and standpoint going into August, going into this first game of the season? Because my question with this team is, what do they look like on the defensive line, on the offensive line rather, right? Like, I feel really good about the offensive line. I really do. And Coach Kalen DeBoer has been saying that Wilkin Formby has made strides, but like behind that, like Michael Carroll, like him coming in, I felt after Keelan Russell, he would be like one of the biggest additions as well. So I have my eye on him as a freshman, and it's easy to talk about, Dejon Lee or Lazier Brooks or some of these other. The freshman class is crazy good. But Michael Carroll, I believe in him, and I don't know how much he'll get to play this year or where he'll play, but I think he's also versatile. I think he can play guard. I think he can play tackle. And that excites me. So those are the two players. So I hope that answered that for you, Jack. And it was maybe a little bit more long-winded, but I thought that was a good question. All right, so in terms of the prospects that Alabama has committed right now, at this point in time, you have Jordan Edmonds, who is an absolute baller. Like Zion Gibson, is pictured on the photo right here. But in terms of Jordan Edmonds, he's a legitimate 5-star and a fantastic addition to this class of 2026. You got to hang on to him. You got to keep him. And if you look to the future of Alabama's secondary, pair him with, like, you imagine in the future, this could be the future, right? You have Chuck McDonald, Dejon Lee, Jordan Edmonds, Zay Mincy, he just got here as well. Drake Kirkpatrick, he just got here as well. Xavier Brown, he's just a freshman. So the future of the corners is outstanding. That's why everybody wants Jet Washington, right? You get him on board, it would be incredible. Josh mentions this. Please go out and watch this video. It's a day in the life with Xavier Brown. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's basically just kind of a day to life. It's a real chill video. He goes home. He's just kicking it. I think Abdul Sanders was with him, right? They're hanging out. So definitely go check that out. Just type in Xavier Brown, day in the life. It's a super great kid, too. And a baller. Came up with some really big plays. Also, I'll go full screen. I don't know if you could see that text. Don Gibson, right, out of Gadsden, Alabama. He's a 4-star. He's another guy that could be in the secondary. And then Jamarian Matthews out of Georgia, who's a 4-star edge rusher, right? Those are the guys that are currently committed to Alabama. On this side, you also have Chris Booker, who a lot of people didn't really know who he was. And I don't know if he got like the Bama bump as soon as he committed, but all of a sudden he was a 4-star. And he's out of Atlanta. In the state, he's number 24. And then Kamaran Johnson, who's out of Muscle Shoals, is a defensive lineman who's 6'3", 265 pounds. So those are the guys that are currently committed to Alabama at this point in time. But I think all the headlines are surrounding this young man. And if Coach Kalen DeBoer, right, Christian Robinson, the defensive staff, everybody, like a full court press on Xavier Griffin. Let me ask you this inside the comment box. For those of you that follow recruiting with the microscope and that are on the daily beat, where would you say that Xavier Griffin is trending towards? Post it inside the comment box. You could list undecided, you're not sure, or does it seem like he's a Bama lean? It kind of seems to me that after he decommitted from USC, it seemed like all of a sudden Bama was like the favorite. Now, he's not committing to the end of the month, but would you agree that it kind of seems like Bama is the favorite here? What do you think? Right? Max Tooney's saying he's a silent commit to Bama. That maybe? Man. And, looking at him as a linebacker, see, a lot of people are already saying silent commit. Wow. I haven't seen that, to be honest. I've seen like a lean, and I've seen like that he's been. I thought correct me if I'm wrong, but he's been Fong bombed, right? Steve Whitfong of On 3, I think, predicted him to Bama. I think so. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. So a lot of you are saying, wow, it looks like he's silent. I'm putting tea leaves together. I don't know. I didn't even know that he was like rumored to be a silent commitment. But this would be gigantic. I think that, and I said this, recently. There was a point in time last year when Keelan Russell committed, and then it was an avalanche. It was like a really big time prospect committed and started the wave of recruits. And I get it. He commits on the back end of the month, but I think the same thing could happen. Maybe the buildup will be this. Alabama's a little bit, lean on commitments going even into the end of June. But something like this is kind of the catalyst to get other guys to commit. Yeah, so let's talk. This is a good point right here. This is a teaching point, okay? Roll Tide Prob is like, I didn't even know silent commit was a thing. Yeah, so, and this has been a thing for forever, right? A silent commit is like you committed to the school, like to them behind, in closed doors, but you're still kind of open to taking other visits and just kind of seeing, but otherwise you're like really committed to this other program without announcing it publicly. That is not new. Silent commits this has been a thing for a long time. But these are guys who would like break the internet if they commit. And see, this is the type of love that these defenses, you know what? This is cool. I like this. So this photo and this photo, they're the same photo. Okay. This is a different photo. The middle photo, this is Freddie Roach, who's an associate head coach, right? This is Mo Lindquist. This is Christian Robinson. Here's Mo Lindquist again, right? And other defensive staff. They're sending out videos like this to prospects and telling them, they're like, yo, Bama's the place. Bama's the place. Which is, I mean, can you imagine being 17 and getting a video from the Alabama football coaching staff? That's what I'm saying. I think this defensive staff is a little bit under Coach Saban. I think you saw high-level recruiting, but you didn't see a lot of the personality of the other coaches. I think Coach Kalen DeBoer, what he's been able to do is showcase. I think this is my opinion. I think that Coach Kalen DeBoer has done a really good job showcasing his coaching staff. I think we always knew or assumed that Coach Saban had this amazing staff, but we didn't really know the personalities of the coaches. We got to hear from them, one time from Media Day, like the OC and the DC. But other than that, we're just like, yeah, he's a hell of a coach. He's doing a great job. He's under Coach Saban. But Coach Kalen DeBoer has let these guys really flourish. And I think that's been pretty cool. And look, they do interviews with the media, with Yay Alabama. And I think that's a win for Alabama because you get to see the youth, how energetic they are, the professionalism. All these guys are head coaches. I mean, to have, like, Mo Lindquist a couple years ago was the head football coach at Buffalo, University of Buffalo. And before that, he was working with the Cowboys, right? Freddie Roach, man, super tenured. So anyways, I think like the full court press is coming for somebody like Xavier Griffin. And he'll get that this weekend, starting now. And I'm here for it. So Hayes Fawcett with an incredible graphic as usual. I really, really like this one. June 29th, Xavier Griffin, Florida State, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. I don't know if these have been, updated or if those are still kind of the remaining schools, but that was, that's a graphic that we're working off of. All right, let's see what else we got. Kamarion Johnson also coming in. Anyone from kind of the Muscle Shoals, Florence area? This guy's a key prospect as well. 4-star in-state defensive lineman. Yes, please. Hardest position to recruit. And getting him in. This guy's been all Bama. Jameer Matthews, right? Committed to Alabama. Out of Georgia, edge rusher, 6'2", 250. You know, I guess the two quarterbacks right now, I haven't seen a third quarterback that Alabama has been recruiting, but Matt Ponatowski, he's here. He's the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Ohio. Like, I mean, Ohio is producing some incredible athletes. So Matt Ponatowski, he just made the Elite 11 finals, right? Keelan Russell was the Elite 11 MVP. Kind of showcases you how good people feel Ponatowski is. He's coming here for the first time. He's never been at Tuscaloosa before. Antonio's down. He's close. He's in Athens, Alabama. All right. I just think it's beautiful up there. I love crossing the river. It's nice. I had a good time up there. So Matt Ponatowski, and then you have the Mala, who visited last week, and an unofficial visit, and he's taking his official visit with Iowa State, where he is committed to. All right. Okay. Last thing that I'll hit, and then we'll do our final, our big ticket item for the raffle. But you have Alabama. I don't know. I don't think that they marketed this very well, but there's a new documentary. It's kind of a series right now on Alabama's social media channels. You got to check it out. It is really cool. And the first part is about the wide receivers, and it's about the fact that they're called takers. Did anybody see this? Did I just see this? It's every Thursday. So set your reminders for every Thursday, I guess in the evening time. I think it runs through the rest of summer or through June. But anyways, a lot of it features Jamarcus Shepard. And we've talked about him. He's a wide receiver coach. Remember Rondell Moore? No, this was his coach. Remember Ryan Williams as a freshman? Just kidding. This is his coach. And he brings it like from see, Dan saw it. It was cool. Go watch it. You have Ryan Williams who's being interviewed. You have Jeremy Bernard. And they're called takers. Yeah, that's like their thing. And the thing is they highlight, they're talking about the entire receiving room, right? But they make it a point to point out the freshmen and how they did this spring. Here's Lazier Brooks getting coached up by Jamarcus Shepard, right? Yeah, King Riz, you remember Rondell. Rondell was a monster. He was a player, remember he played for Purdue, the wide receiver. He was a game changer. Jalen Waddle was, it's hard to compare, but he was kind of that type of a player, like a game breaker. Waddle's, better, but Rondell Moore was, he was that type. And then they also mentioned, Derek Meadows. So I thought it was cool. So go check it out. It's on Alabama's, their official social media pages. Definitely check it out. All right, you guys ready for the main hoodie? Like the big one? All right. Let me show you one more time, and then we'll spin it. So the main event today, this is the main event Friday. And if you just want this directly, go to Fanatics, Players Gears on Athletes Thread. This is our big ticket item Friday, okay? Portion of this goes back to now I'm saying charity of kind of my choice, because now that I've went to the, Tuscaloosa Juvenile Detention Center, I'm feeling, there's a lady, they told me every single day that she just drops off snacks there. Every day. There's like some superhero out there. I don't know. I get it. I'm for discipline 100%, million percent. I just feel that, we can't forget about the youth, period. So, I mean, discipline for sure, but, there still needs to be some sort of a gap to where mentorship can spill over into the youth. So, I'm not good at a lot of things, but I feel I'm a really good dad, and that's kind of maybe where I get that from. I don't know. I kind of feel like I've just been kind of pushed that direction. I can't explain it. Anyways, All right, you guys ready? Let's spin it. All right, so give me 2 seconds. I'll take another commercial, and I'll be right back, and then we'll spin it on this Feel Good Friday. Hang with me. You know what time it is? All right, Big Ticket Friday. All right, remember, if you win the raffle, it is imperative that you email me to the email that I just posted inside the comment box, all right? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys rocking with me during the summertime, all right? This is the big ticket item for the sleeveless hoodie. Email me, get it out to you, all right? I appreciate you guys' support today. I'm seriously overjoyed that you guys, were rocking with me like that. I mean, that was huge. It's probably the most super chats I've ever had. So thank you so much. With that said, you guys ready? Let's spin it. Let me start it one more time, and we'll do it right. I like to get into character. I can't just go in there and I just. All right. All right, welcome fam to Bama Football on YouTube Spin to Win Friday. It is June 6th. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys. You want to get into the raffles. We have them daily. Portion of this goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen, or we're starting out something with the Juvenile Detention Center here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Remember, news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. With that said, look, we're just going to jump right into it, and let's spin it, all right? Here we go. Oh, my goodness. This one is a big one. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Marcus, I thought Marcus, you're underneath Alicia, right? Let me make sure just real quick. 1 second. This is a big ticket item. 1 second. Give me 1 second. let me make sure that we got Marcus in here. All right, give me 1 second. Let me make sure Marcus is in here. 1 second. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. I got you guys in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good luck to everybody up in the chat. This one makes me nervous. Lisa coming through. Oh my goodness, you just got out of Chad Kennedy by a micro inch. By a micro. Lisa, email me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so our winners today, email me. Congratulations, that was gigantic. Yo, Chad. Oh my goodness. Look at where Chad is on this thing. Oh my God, that was wild. All right. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hell of a show. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Remember, if there's any errors or any typos or whatever, hold it against my head, not against my heart. You know I love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me today on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine June 6th. Enjoy your life. Be where your feet are at. And I'll catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube or as news happens. Thanks for rocking with me.